We are here at Knoebels Campground for a long weekend. We've come here annually for many years with some skips in between. We're going to show you around the campground, give you a little tour, show you some of the sights, and share some things we love or don't love, and give you a look around. Here we are pulled in. We are in site N16 on Nebraska Ave. There's the end of the road over there. We're here with some family members, so we have several sites lumped together here. We are bleeding a little bit into N14. As you can see, it's a pretty tight spot, but we also have paid for N14 for the weekend. So that's N14 where the tarp's going up over there, all the way to the end down by the swings. This is the sites along Nebraska here. Nebraska is a dead-end lane, that's why we like these sites. We don't get through traffic, but as you can see, they're pretty tight to get into with a travel trailer, but it is doable. And they are nice and shaded compared to some of the sites that are more travel trailer friendly. So this is Nebraska Ave. We're gonna walk around and show you a little bit more. Down here, there's some RV friendly, big rig friendly sites right inside the entrance of the campground. They are very sun exposed, but much easier to pull into than some of the others up there. I'm not sure what those site numbers and rows are. We're in row O, looking at O16 right in front of us here, but they're the ones just inside the campground past the twister. And you'll see there's a playground up there too. Again, it gets very hot. It's very exposed to the sun, but they're easy to pull into, and they have very nice access to the park. Part of why we like our sites on Nebraska Lane here is that it's a really easy walk right down to the park. We don't have to take the shuttle. Yeah, very easy to come and go from the park from where we're situated. Right here, we're just inside the main entrance to the campground. You'll see there are 3 water filling stations as you come in. There's not water hookups, I don't believe, on any of the sites at Knoebels. So we definitely had to fill our tank coming in. We do have electric, and we also do not have sewage hookup. So you'll see the playground over there again. This is where you pull in, fill up your water. There's wood available for sale over here. Here's the main campground map we'll take a look at here for a minute. And you'll see over on the side here is the registration office. There's also ice for sale. We are back right behind that registration office, the Nebraska lane. Here's a quick look at the map. You can see we are all the way down here is where our site is. So we are an easy walk to the park, but there's sites all the way up in here. And I believe they do have a shuttle that will run you if you're up there down to the park and back. But then of course you're tied to the shuttle schedule. So we're gonna walk down Texas Avenue here. We're gonna show you the little bridge to the park up from the other side of the campground. So the whole campground has these state named road with signs. Pretty cool. The kids are excited because they're starting to test rides for the day before the park opens at noon. We're gonna walk up Texas Avenue here and show you the bridge back here. As we're walking down Texas Avenue here, this is the twister. So this is how close the campground roads on this side of the campground get to the park. Some of these sites, you can see a site right there, are literally overlooking the coaster, which gets a little bit loud, but still a pretty neat experience. So here what's pretty cool is that this bridge takes you down into the park close to the Sploosh and Ferris wheel. And you can get to this right from, there's campsites right up behind. This is off Texas, I think it's Avenue. You'll see the bathhouse up there. So as kids, we actually camped up on this side of the loop most of the time, and we walked down into the park this back way. It goes over a little creek there, and yeah, the Sploosh is right down past that bridge. So a nice another access point to the park from the campground. And this is Texas, and I'm not sure what the names of the ones are right above us. If we get up there, I'll let you know. But that's T19, it looks like, the platform right there in front of us. And yeah, this is the way we went down all the time as kids growing up. It is a bit of a steep hill if you're pushing a stroller up there, but nice shaded sites with really close proximity to the park. So this is another nice access point. We could see a little splash there from them testing out the sploosh this morning while we were walking. That's how close we are. You can see the big wheel a little bit through the trees there too. See if I can zoom in right there. And this is all from the bridge, campground bridge over by the Texas Avenue. We can also see this train being tested way up there too, going past by the bridge. Very fun. We're at the bathhouse here up by, you can see North Carolina Avenue there. And we're gonna see if we can get any quick shots to show you of these. They have like outdoor individual stalls. Here's a shower. They're pretty spacious. You have to push the button. You don't have to pay anything, but you have to keep pushing the button to keep the water coming. I wouldn't say they're super clean, but they're not terrible either in terms of campground amenities. And then over here, there's toilet ones that are the same way. You can see from the outside here. Just single outdoor toilet stalls. And then they have sinks over here. They also do have indoor rooms for the men and women, with shower stalls and some toilet stalls as well. But we typically use these individual outdoor ones. Yeah, that's, just to give you an idea, that's site G19, and I think it said A0 or 1 right over there. This is A18, just to give you an idea of some of these sites. We're walking down now. This is, I believe, California. You can see the site numbers there, C13 on the right, C10 on the left coming up here. We're gonna take this over and try to go up to the upper loop and show you some of those sites. This is C7. There's several open here that you can see. C7 right in front of us. Back here, this is C6 on the tree there. These are all tucked near the back of the front loop of the campground. We're up close to California and Kentucky here. Here's a view down the main drive. You can see the ice way down there that we showed you at the camp registration office. So here's a view down that main stretch. We're gonna head up Kentucky here over to the upper loop. Here's the bathhouse that we come up to from our sites. We do come up to the showers here because we don't have water hookup to use it in our camper. We primarily come up here to take showers, though we can still use the toilet in the camper. And we're walking across Kentucky right now. So this is K14 right in front of us. These are a little more tucked away from the park noise, but a little bit longer of a walk down to the park. Still not too bad though. This is K15 on my left. It's a good day for a race. I want to show you real briefly because a lot of these are empty. We're here on a Thursday morning. We came Wednesday night, so these will fill up. This campground gets very busy over the weekend. But that's J23 right in front of me. J21. All the sites are pretty tight here if you have a big travel trailer, but they're very nice. These are not too far of a walk from the park either, nice and shaded. Again, I'm sure these will fill up over the next couple days. It gets much louder and hopping with people starting Friday evening. So trying to show you the sites here before they're full on this Thursday morning. I take it back. I thought that all of those streets were state names, but we've come across Bermuda Ave up here and Quebec Ave over there. So we're venturing into international territory now. Here's site Q38. over here. I believe that's B1. And you can see the cabins up behind there. We'll walk a little closer to those. Kids are having fun playing in puddles from the rain last night. This is Prince Edward Island Road down here. Just show you a brief overview of these sites. These are getting further from the park. A lot of these probably use the shuttle to come and go from the rides. Still nice sites. They look a little easier to get into with travel trailers than the ones we're in down closer to the park. So there is that. That's Prince Edward Island. There's also some cabins up here. Never seen the inside of one of these, but they look like nice little cabins. If you don't want a tent and you don't have a travel trailer, might be a nice option. I don't know what the prices range on those, but there's some cabins. Here's a front view of the cabins. They're nice little things. I actually saw up by the pavilion over here, there's a huge cabin over here too. This here is New Brunswick Ave in the upper loop. I did just mention to Seth, these look more back-end friendly for RVs, certainly, than where we are down lower. Looks like they do still take some leveling, but they'd be much easier to get a bigger trailer into up here. But again, you don't get the benefit of being as close to the park then. We are on, I think it's Saskatchewan Ave here, looking straight forward. And you can see some more cabins down here too. We're turning down here onto Ontario Lane. Well, I don't know if it's lane, Ontario Ave, sorry. This is ON 51 right in front of us, it looks like. And looks like 53, I think. Right up next to it, empty here. This is Ontario. Here's a much closer view at some cabins. These are the ones on Ontario. Have nice little porches with tables, fire rings out front. They're really cute. I'm not sure what the inside looks like. I've never been in one of these, but they're nice. We're right across from ON 67 on Ontario here. Here's one of the big, it looks like it's maybe a double DBL-3 on the door. Really big cabin here. 2 tables on the porch. Again, I'm not sure what the inside looks like, but they have some big ones up here. Kids are getting tired out on our walk around this campground. It is a bigger campground. We're gonna head back soon to our sites, but yep, we got some tired kids. Thank goodness we brought Daddy along on the walk. Here we're looking at Klondike Avenue. Looks like a few more cabins up there, but also some RV sites. That's Klondike straight ahead. We're going back down Nova Scotia now. We're gonna try to find the pedestrian walkway down to the lower loop and back to our site on Nebraska. This is NS 71 right here. A nice spacious site. Here's the pedestrian walkway. We found it. This is coming down from Nova Scotia, I believe it was. And we're gonna try to take this back down to the lower loop and back to our campsite. Let's hope these exhausted kids make it and still have some energy to walk in the park later. I think the park opens at noon today until 9 p.m. So we'll head down there around lunchtime. Usually we head down for a few hours, come back to the campground, relax a little bit in the afternoon, and then go back down for a bit in the evening. That's one of the perks to us of staying at this campground, is that we can come and go from the park in pieces. We're on the pedestrian walkway, and these are nice sites tucked right by the walkway, and I believe they are Q sites. I can't fully read the number, but just to give you an idea of where the walkway falls here. A couple nice sites from the Quebec right alongside it. Okay, yes, so there's a pedestrian walkway behind. This is Q triangle, I'm not sure what that means, and QX that we were looking at from the back there. And then here's the other end of the pedestrian walkway coming off of Quebec. We're right across from Q36 there on the ground. We believe we're on York Road here, walking back down to find our Nebraska road on the right. Up through the trees you can see the bathhouse that we visit there. It's not too far away from the upper loop with Quebec. Actually, in walking the campground, it felt a little smaller than I expected. But we're gonna follow this straight down until we connect to Nebraska. I'll give you one last view here. We're almost back to our camper. This is Mississippi Avenue. Right up in here, all these sites. These are also very close proximity to walk down to the park down here. We had a little bit of time to kill before the park opens. We came down to the playground. This is the one right by, you can see the twister right behind it. Right kind of at the entrance of the campground. The shade is actually improving down here from previous years. It's not quite as hot as it has been. But this is the lower playground. Kids are having fun. I think they're hiding in the boat there. Let's see if we can find them. I think I found one of them. We had a shuttle spotting while we were down here at the playground. So this is the campground shuttle that will, I guess this is its main drop-off. I don't know if it goes down further to the entrance of the park. It might, but it'll pick you up and drop you off at different points throughout the campground to go down to the park. So that's the campground shuttle. We don't use that from Nebraska. It's a short enough walk. We just walk back and forth, but thought I'd show it to you here. We are at Knoebels Campground. What we like, what we don't like. We don't come here for a nature experience to be still and experience peace. We come here because we love the proximity to the park. So, as I said, I think in other parts of the video several times, we've come here every year for the last several years as a family, and as a kid I came every year with a little gap in between there till we've come as our own family. And it's a louder campground, tighter spots. We weren't sure if we would even fit our new travel trailer into our spot this year, but because we have the site next to us as well, we were able to bleed into it and make it work.
Be prepared. It's quite unlevel.
Yeah,
so you
bring lots of leveling blocks.
Bring some extra boards to
depending
to
which
level
sites
up.
you're in. As we showed on the tour, some of the upper loop sites are a lot more travel trailer friendly than down here where we are on Nebraska. This lower area, you'll need more leveling blocks. We don't love the hookups. We only have electric, so we had to fill our water tank as we came in.
I will say the water pressure is quite low to fill up your tank, so be prepared to sit there at 15, 20, 25 minutes. But you end up filling up, it's fine.
They do have 4 fill-up stations, we realized. We thought there was only 2, but there's like 4 at the entrance here.
We like to arrive kind of midweek, so we don't have to sit in line and wait for the water.
There was a line yesterday of people waiting to fill their tanks. Because most of the sites, we learned later after the tour video that some of the upper loop sites, I believe, do have more hookups. I'm not sure which hookups exactly they are, but they might have water on some of the upper loop sites. So we don't love that, that we have to watch our water usage and not shower in the camper, things like that. You getting tired, having too much fun this weekend?
It is kind of neat. There's a wide variety of little tenters, pop-ups, travel trailers, and then the huge RVs. So you don't really feel ashamed if you're too big or too small. Just
okay. Yeah, nice variety, but yeah, don't love the hookups. Don't love how tight the sites are, but worth it. The reason we come here is not to have a serene nature experience. We come here because we love being able to walk down to the park, and we love that our site location, we don't have to take the shuttle or anything. We can just walk right down to the park from where we are.
There's a couple playgrounds for the kids, swings.
Yeah. It's a louder campground. It's definitely not just in terms of proximity, but you get especially down in this lower loop, you'll hear the coaster, we hear the twister. as long as the park's open, you're going to hear that routinely. Almost like a thunder sound in the background. The upper loop, maybe not so much. But it's also an alcohol-friendly park. There's usually, over the weekend days, a lot of loud music coming from other campsites. Not in a super, like, we've never felt a safety concern or anything like that, but it gets louder. Over the weekends especially, it's pretty loud around here.
They do pack you in pretty tight.
It's packed in pretty tight.
It's good coming as a group. We actually reserve an extra site.
Right, which is how we can bleed over.
To have a little bit extra room. But it's great for being close to the park. Very convenient to walk right down whenever you want.
The rates are also, it's pretty hefty rate for only having electric hookup. But again, you're paying for the proximity to the park. So we don't mind paying that rate knowing we can just walk down to the park. But it's definitely a higher rate than most campgrounds for a just electric hookup down here. Bathrooms are not super clean, but they're decent. You don't have to pay for the shower. You don't have to put in quarters or anything like that. Lots of pets all around, very pet friendly if you're a dog owner. Yeah. Anything else?
I don't think so. We enjoy it. We love coming here every year.
Yeah, we enjoy coming here again, not for like a peaceful escape to nature, but it's a great family experience if you want to spend time in the park. And especially, I'd say, when our kids were really little, it was great to be able to go to the park, come back for nap time, give them naps at the campground, and then be able to go back in the evening for a little bit more park time. Great scenario if you have young kids that need sleep, to be able to do the campground and the park mix here. But I think no matter what, either way, it's just a really nice experience to be able to camp right at the park. So we love it. Like we said, been coming many, many years, and highly recommend it as long as your expectations are not for a quiet, real serene camping experience.
Come visit.
Yeah. Hope we see you at Knoebels sometime.